Now, the government has announced today that around 4,000 victims of the infected blood scandal in the UK will receive £100,000 each this autumn in interim compensation. In the 1980s and 90s, blood products infected with hepatitis and HIV were given to thousands of haemophiliacs and others who needed transfusions, and many of them died as a result. This is the first time compensation will be paid after decades of campaigning. The money will go to those who are seriously unwell from their infections, as well as partners of those who've died. But Chris Smith, who's from Bedfordshire, lost his dad. He says, well, he's relieved that some families, including his own mum, should now get something. Others need to be recognised in future.
Parents, because a lot of young kids actually died during this as well, and their parents were kind of left feeling as if they'd killed the kid, because 9 times out of 10 the parent was the one that was giving the injection of factor VIII to the child, and also the kids. I count myself as a bit lucky in this. You know, I did lose dad, and I also lost my cousin later on, about 10 years later on. But there was a lot of kids. I have friends that lost both parents, where one parent came home, the father came home unknowingly, knowing that he was infected, and infected the wife as well, and both of them dying within a month of each other. So it's hard that us kids have been left out as well at the moment, but I'm trying to take the positive view on this. This is a great starting point. We never thought we were going to get to this point.
You were 8 years old when you lost your dad. Your dad was just 32. What did that do to your family?
Pulled it apart in a way. My dad never let his disabilities kind of affect him. He was quite a successful guy, 2 businesses. We just saw kind of everything fall apart in a way. It's quite hard to deal with as a kid. You know, I knew back then that dad had been infected with HIV and died of AIDS. Obviously the stigma attached at that point in time meant that I couldn't really be honest with how dad died. We couldn't be honest as a family talking to everyone. There was only a very few people that actually knew what had happened to my father. But I had an 18-month-old brother at that point in time. My mum then had to go and get a job. We were lucky that some of the family pulled around us and supported us. But all I remember is the struggle.
There's no doubt that £100,000 would make a big difference to anyone's life. Can it really make amends for what you and your family have gone through?
I don't think no amount of money can, and I'm being 100% serious about this, no amount of money can make up for that. If I had a choice between having dad here, I'd take that all day long. I think the thing that hurts is the damage of being lied to for all of this time, being told that everyone had done everything they possibly could. There was no avoiding this, and yet we sit through the public inquiry and we understand that, you know, pretty much everyone knew the risks, apart from the patients that were actually taking the factor VIII. It's a tough one. I would like to see some people prosecuted. I think that would be more of a result for me than the financial side of things, because then I would feel like it's been actually addressed and there has been something done about it.
It's accountability you want more than compensation.
Massively. This didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. You know, my cousin died 10 years afterwards for the same thing. Why did he need to die when we all knew in the early 80s, 83, what the risks were? We just didn't listen.
Chris Smith there.